Thanks for staying with us on the Sports Show. Time to get the controversial corner. The master of chewing the fat, Bevan James, joins us. Bevo, how are you?
That's Marthy. Pleasure to be back on here.
There's been a fair bit happening for the week of sport.
Certainly has been. It is time to put my serious face on, boys. What the heck is going on with swimming? Mac Horton and Duncan Scott. I'd like to have a beer with Duncan. Seriously, like, Sun Young shouldn't be swimming in the first place. What is going on? How the heck is a convicted drug cheat swimming in the World Champs in the first place?
Hasn't he got a hearing coming up?
I think so.
In September or something, he's got a hearing. So the big question is, why is he allowed to swim? That's what I think they're saying. Why is he allowed to swim now when he's got a trial coming up or a test case for drugs? Because he's already been done once.
My point exactly, Baz. And
why is he swimming?
So we're saying he's not guilty yet. He's been guilty once and he's being trialled against, so at the moment nothing proven. So we're on the not guilty till proven on this charge.
Yeah.
On the previous one you were, but the Aussie guys are saying, you know what, we know you're a drug cheat, so not engaging. What's your thoughts on that? Let's stay away from him swimming at the moment.
Mac Horton,
but
absolute legend.
Not getting up and going, I'm not standing next to a bloke that cheats.
No,
I think it's fantastic.
Have you heard one Aussie that hasn't supported that?
Exactly right.
Oh,
and then,
I don't reckon that. You know, normally when you get into this sort of stuff, there's something like, oh, we should know better than that, or we should do that, or that's not right. I haven't heard one person not support Matt.
I'm the same.
100% agree. And then Duncan Scott, obviously, as I mentioned before, didn't want to do it either, and also didn't want to shake his hand as well. Have a beer with Duncan any day of the week, I think.
But Duncan's not Australian, is he?
No, he's from the UK.
Okay, so he's done the same thing, basically.
He's Scottish.
So he finished with the bronze medal.
Could be too.
Obviously, Sun Young won it by default. And same kind of thing. He didn't want to stand on the podium, didn't want to shake his hand. Duncan, I'll have a beer with you any day of the week.
Because he didn't win, did he? So he ran second.
He did.
But the guy who ran first got disqualified.
Yeah,
is that right? So he even wins it like that.
I know.
Well, you know, come on. No.
It's a joke.
The thing that annoys me the most about this, and we'll go back to Raylene Boyle as an example.
Yeah.
So it's proven now that she was the gold medal winner.
Yeah.
What value is that to Raylene?
Nothing.
Now?
Nothing at all.
That's right.
And I know Raylene, she's a good personal friend and she's a ripper, but you go, well, Lance Armstrong gets caught.
Yeah.
And so he's made millions. So the people that he beat, they get it retrospective, but it means nothing retrospective other than you were cheated. So I think if you're unsure or you're being tested, I think the ruling has to be, sorry, you can't swim, you can't race, you can't. If you're under investigation until you're cleared.
Absolutely clear.
100%.
I agree, mate.
And we wouldn't be having these issues in the first place.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's move on to footy, boys, because I want to talk about the Power. Baz, what the heck is going on at the Power? Seriously, they play so well against the Crows one week. Next week, they're terrible against Brisbane. Last week, they put up a better performance against Richmond. But they're looking like a situation where they might miss the finals again this year. Hinkley could be out the door. Voss is talking to Carlton. What the hell's going on at the Power?
I don't know, but what's going on at the Crows? Aren't they in the same boat?
Well,
are they not in the same boat?
They are.
Well, of course they are.
Yeah.
You say that they're calling for Kenny, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, you're the first person that I know that said that.
No.
That's not going to happen.
I'm not calling for Kenny to go.
But you're saying there's calls for him.
There is calls for because social media is lighting up with people calling for Kenny. This is what I'm telling you from perspective from social media. I personally think Kenny's a good coach. They should give him a chance. But there's a lot of people that are starting to lose patience with him, and the media's starting to, all these shows and stuff are saying, it's time for him to go. They're coming out with statistics left, right and centre about him. So, personally, I think he's a good coach and he's done a good job, especially when you consider where they were when Primus was coaching. But he's starting to run out of patience and stuff with the supporters.
Is Pike running out of the same? I think Baz is. I agree with you. Is the same thing happening with the Crows now?
Pike made the grand final in 2017 though, so I think he's a little bit more, a bit more credibility.
But is there the same noise? Is there the same noise about both? Is there starting to be the same social media criticism about the Crows, not quite?
Not quite. I don't think, purely because Pike, had that success those couple of years ago. But I'll tell you what, the Hoop Pike isn't far behind Hinkley, that's for sure. But what do you guys think? If we don't play finals,
both teams are in trouble. Both teams are in a little bit of trouble. Ports are very hard to work out, Bevo, to be fair. They're like you say, one week they're up, next week they're down. Their best is certainly good enough, but so is the Crows. Their best is good enough as well, but they just can't produce their best when it counts. That's the issue.
It tears your hair out, doesn't it?
Well, it does, because I watched both games on the weekend.
And I watched. Hair out, eh?
Yeah, exactly right. This is your last show, Bevo. No, you come on here and talk about hair again.
I can't talk either, boys.
But you say that before you go there, because we just talked. Sorry, we're talking about Hinkley and Pike. I brought up Pike, you brought up Hank. They're going, well, how many coaches have been sacked or resigned this year?
3, isn't it?
So
3 already.
We'll get rid of 2 more, that's 5.
Yeah.
There's a couple other that are down the bottom, so we get rid of those as well. So let's get rid of 7 or 8 coaches.
Yeah.
Honestly, do you reckon the problem might be in other areas as well?
Well,
I know we point at the coach, and if there's a
is.
succession of losses, then and the style's bad, but sometimes the coach is just under undue fire.
True. Could be the assistants.
Could be a whole
Michael
range
Voss,
of things.
I've heard stories of Michael Voss.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
I got no problem.
What is
You got
it?
any problem with Vossi talking to Carlton? I got no problem with that.
No,
That's
not
been
at all.
going on
I mean,
since
of course it
footy
has.
started. I think that's.
And
I think it was Koshy that made the comment. That's an uneducated comment from someone that doesn't know what's going on.
And I don't think that makes one iota of a difference to the team, an assistant coach. What I will say is what Ken Hinckley said, that their best is very good, is good enough, but they cannot produce their best everywhere. They're a young team, they're still a very young team, and they've got a lot of youth in their team. Their skills are their issue. They have been for a couple of years. Ports, if everything works and they play to their best ability with their skills, they will slaughter anybody. Yeah. But as you saw last week against Richmond, I think Richmond scored 65 points by half time, and 52 of those were from turnovers from Port Adelaide. Yeah. That's Port's problem. There's no other problem. They've got a very good list, no problem with the list, but their skills are down. When you're talking about, they've got a couple of midfielders who can't kick, and I spoke to Gavin Wanganeen on the weekend up in the box there, and he said to me, you do not win grand finals unless, and he brought up a very good point, and I'll have to be very quick here, but he was talking about 2004, and he said, have a look at Port Adelaide's midfield in 2004.
Yep.
Now, you're talking about elite kicks here. Jared Schofield, Roger James, these type of players, Josh Franco. These guys don't miss targets. Unfortunately, right now, we've got players in there that miss targets. And you cannot miss targets in the AFL consistently and win, because other teams will belt you. They'll make you pay. Well, and I think that's what's happening to Adelaide.
Why can't they change their game plan? Why can't they change their game plan then? So instead of doing this run and gun game where they're going to create turnovers, playing a game where you just,
because that's their game plan. That is their game.
You two guys talk about this when we get off air, because we need to get to a break. We'll be back in a moment.